Getting hit by a car was the best thing that could have happened to me. Right after getting my private pilot license, the school told me that I had gone $2,000 over the limit of my loan and had to pay that myself. I put it on the only credit card I had, and it wasn't a long time before I felt the effects of interest. I worked at Starbucks making a measly $9 an hour, but quickly started jumping to jobs that paid more. I also had to pay off the loan monthly and a car note. Thankfully I lived with my parents, but I was paying nearly $1,000 in loan debt and bills. I averaged 8 months at each job, going from Starbucks to Target to loading UPS planes to eventually working at Whole Foods and Amazon at the same time. The Whole Foods manager worked out a beautiful schedule for me where I worked from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then worked at Amazon from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. During this entire time I had a girlfriend who was also studying, but she never seemed to grasp the stress that I was in. When I started working at Amazon and Whole Foods, her only response was, "What about me?" Anyway, one night I'm leaving the Amazon facility and decided to skip chit-chat with a coworker because I'm exhausted and I really wanted to go home. I get to my car, pull up to the stop sign, make that left turn, and get hit by some kid who was speeding in his mom's Nissan Altima. It was a dark warehouse road with no street lights, and they were going well above 90 miles per hour. Their car flipped over the divider. Mine spun out like 5 times, hitting theirs again while I was spinning. All I remember is seeing the car go dark and gripping the wheel. When I came to, I had to crawl out the passenger seat before I realized something was wrong with my knee and my shoulder. I got taken to the hospital and got told I needed surgery. My girlfriend visits me and keeps me company. I cried a lot when no one was around, thinking about what I was going to do. I eventually got sent home in a wheelchair. The first night I'm home, my girlfriend comes to visit and says she wants to take me for a walk. She pushes my wheelchair to a bench a block from my house and tells me she needs to know if we're going traveling in the next 6 months or not. Because for her, it's mandatory. It's a need for her. It's something we've talked about before my accident, but it's never been posed before as an ultimatum like this. At first I'm taken aback, trying to collect myself. Then I pretty much told her to look at the situation I'm in. Yeah, I'd love to go traveling, but it isn't in the cards right now for me. If she needs that, she can find someone who can do that. She shuts right up when she wheels me back to my house. I tell her if she really wants that we can help her find a better paying job. I had 2 jobs paying me $15 an hour. She can find one too. That never happened. All she did was sit around and tell me that she doesn't feel like a priority and bring up traveling. Fast forward 3 months and I'm walking again. Barely. I only work at Whole Foods now. One day she calls me to celebrate her completing therapy and we go get drinks and she tries to bring up traveling again. I just tell her how I feel overwhelmed with everything and this ends in an argument in her car with me telling her that it eats away at my self-worth and makes me feel like poop. She apologized, got the waterworks, and we ended the night. She calls me before bed and brings it up. Traveling again, this time begging. I broke up with her the next day. My dad finds a lawyer who can look at the accident case and finds a way to finesse the insurance and ends up handing me a check that erases all my debt. This was right before COVID started, so I get to stay home and properly rest emotionally and physically. Picked up rollerblading and started studying again. Every now and then I wonder how much money I would have wasted on that girl if I hadn't broken up with her. I like to assume I'm over that relationship, but it still riles me up. Dodged a bullet there.